All right, what is happening, people? Let's walk through what I'm looking for today. I did take a sell yesterday. I actually managed it incorrectly. So I took this sell here. It was very, very A plus. I took partials at 1 to 3, and then I moved my stop and covered a little bit too far when I didn't need to. And then it obviously ran 1 to 10, which is where I would have been targeting for this session. So missed out on about 6% or 5% off of that, but it was a very A plus trade nonetheless. Case study coming for that at some point. I obviously have gone through that in enough detail, I think, in the premium, and I did send that into the Telegram as well. But unfortunate, we move on, learn from it, and then go from there. So let's have a look at GU to begin with. Now GU, more or less, what I'm kind of seeing for today is a bit interesting, I'm not going to lie. So we've come into this area, which is a valid decisional of this break. So you've more or less got like this supply to demand here. I don't think this will hold, but it's enough to give a reaction. Now, so if we jump on the hourly, as you can see, we're in this point now, and we've had an internal break. Very, very straight ranges. I think as a minimum, we should really see, I don't like this point as a point. It is technically a decisional, but until we get liquidity around it, I won't trade from it. So what I'm kind of expecting is we start our complex pullback, okay? Very, very complex. Get all the way up there, as my internet comes out, get all the way up there, and then kind of go from there. We've got a clear inducement of these Asia lows and a clear pull out. So we're really getting that obvious movement off of the inducement of that point. So the next point we're coming down for is this 4-hour decisional of that bigger break. So given that that's the case, I just want to wait for this. We're at the very bottom of this range, the very bottom of this move, and we don't have many options to work with yet. So we'll need more structure. It could build a break and test type of structure. So what I'd be looking for is break and then test structure, push up and get something like that. I'm happy to take that type of trade coming today. Just understand we are in this complex pullback and we haven't had more than one leg yet. Okay, so once we get that new movement, I'm happy to use it. I don't have any of these points in here as necessarily valid. There wasn't a good enough pullback for me on any of them. So for me, I just see this as liquidity, but we've got no liquidity to target other than the mitigation of this point, which has a little bit of retest here. There. So we've got no daily cycle. So GU is kind of off limits for the day. I believe there's heaps of news at some point, possibly tonight or possibly tomorrow. Now, EU, I'm still very, very 50-50 on. I don't like how we reacted out at this point, but we did, so we are bearish. And now we've come to the bottom point of this break. So this break shouldn't hold given where we are. Not only is this like break and retest of this bigger move here, so taking this low will be really good for buyers, especially into the mitigation of this area that we've got, because that mitigated that area. But we need to come and take it first. I think we will get a retracement off of it. We've mitigated the entire 15-minute section of this, so I kind of just want to trade off of that. Now, if we read a little bit internal, we haven't come into any points. We've got this liquidity build up here of this demand to supply. So that's a valid area we can look. We've got a little bit of imbalance there on the 10-minute. On the hourly, there's the whole point. And on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, we could use that because it's got a bit of retest into it, which I don't actually mind. So if we look at that on the 15, you've got this little bit of retest, which we can use as that type of structure model into this. I would actually rather, given that that's the break here, come and take that top half of it. So more aim for the 5-minute point and use that. So that'll be my first target as we buy up towards it. We've got that 10-minute point with a small imbalance in there, which is good. And I really like that, but we're working in this imbalance at the moment. In terms of what's going on here, we have very, very small internal breaks. Like very, very small. Not much to necessarily work with here, unfortunately. Take a low and push out. So we have created some structure. Clear inducement of that Asia range to start. So I do want to keep buying. I'll just need liquidity built up. So what I'll be aiming for is more or less something like that to move up to higher points. Just understanding we're at the bottom of the leg, but we have had a couple of internal breaks that could be part of this kind of retracement, okay? Just understand complex pullback, just like GU. We could pull down and take this low instantly. in that case, I just won't be interested. It'll prove this entire point's a smart money trap. Like I said, I won't be interested at all in taking a trade from here. It could come and take this internal retest as well. Like I said, it's just, we'll see what happens. The only way I'm open to kind of taking that is if we get, I guess, pull down, pull up, pull down, smart money, and we can trade through that up to this area here. Apart from that, not really interested. I believe the pair today is AU. Given that we haven't broken this low, and I do really, really like this hourly point we're in, I would like to come and take this high. This decisional area that broke through here now is stacked with liquidity. So all I'm looking for is, given that we're in this straight range, is some type of fall off into a break, build up some liquidity like that. I'm happy to take it. I don't see this as a reversal opportunity. Yes, we've completed the structure cycle very nicely this direction multiple times, but I just don't see this as enough to hold. All my liquidity is sitting above. If anything, I would like to get in this type of entry here. If it gives me that on the 1 minute, I will be taking it. More than likely swing targeting to a high like this. Sells seem less likely on AU, and given we're in a retracement on all the other pairs, it makes a lot of sense. So realistically, I would like to come and take this high to then give us that sell-off there. So that's what I'm seeing today. The DXY is now in this smart money trap, so it's probably going to have a bit of a reaction. We've actually induced into the mitigation of this bigger area. Like I said, I don't think this will hold given structure. We've now pulled down, and I think we'll start to get a bit of a sell-off as we mitigate more or less this area here. So once we come further, I believe basically into this area, we'll get that bit of a sell-off, possibly down to areas like this, and then kind of continue up to this area here. So that's all I kind of see today. Any questions, let me know. We may just sell off and the DXY may just push up and there may be nothing. AU may want to sell off of here, but like I said, for me personally, I would like to buy through what it's done. I believe in it's giving us big ranges like this. I don't think it will hold, so I will be open to watching and we will go from there. Have a good trading day. Let's finish this week off strong, and I will chat to you guys tomorrow.